Welcome to Nuggets for the Sound Musician. Get ready for insights to elevate your journey as a musician. Let's gear up, improvise, and get paid.
All right, what's going on? This is Quamon Fowler coming to you, the Texas tenor and the founder of the Sound Musician Mentorship Program. And on today in this podcast, I'm going to talk to you about focus and being consistent. I think this is very key because it just shows when you focus on something, you're getting a straight shot. A lot of times in life, we can let what we see going on externally or what other people are going through kind of, interfere with us and our focus. And so I was just thinking about, all of the noise that's going on right now. At the time of this video, we're in election time, election season. And you all know it's always drama around this time. At this particular time, we had an assassination attempt. And so it's been crazy. It's been a lot of mixed emotions and news and people throwing shade and talking about this party and that party and why they don't think that, each party is qualified and all of this stuff. So, of course, you see all the stuff going on social media. But see, here's the thing with me, and this kind of takes me back to high school. When things are chaotic and you see people being manipulated based on fear and what they're seeing, what they're hearing, what they're reading. When I was in high school, one of the things that I did was practice a lot. And so when things got complicated and I couldn't understand things, I would just practice. I would go practice. I would go listen to, at the time, a lot of jazz, and I would transcribe. I was zoned into my own world and what I could control. Me personally, being a Christian, I get my inspiration, my word, my foundation, sound doctrine, I get it from the Bible. I pray, I have a relationship with the Lord. And so I see and hear what goes on externally, but I make sure that I'm doing what I need to do so that I can be responsible for myself. So at the time, I'm thinking with, being single and making sure I do the right thing, I'm making sure that my behavior, my actions are intact. I'm making the right decisions. Of course, I was young. I wasn't making all the right decisions, but I avoided a lot of stuff because I wasn't into the same things that my peers were into, chasing after women, going to parties and drinking or smoking or whatever. I just wasn't into that. I like women now, but I wasn't out there like that. I grew up in a home. I had my father and my mom in the house, and they raised me on the word, so it was in me. So I didn't go too far out there. I flirted with certain things in terms of sin, but my focus was so much on music and wanting to express myself and recording and different things like that. So it occupied a lot of my mental real estate. So let's fast forward even to now. So now I'm married. I have 2 kids, and, we're in this season now where I've, started really honing into building and being consistent with my Sound Musician Mentorship Program. And so I'm working 3 days out of the week. We do jazz improvisation on Tuesday nights. We do recording in the afternoon on Wednesdays, and then we do music business and marketing on Thursdays. And so I'm focused. I'm releasing music every month. We just released Just Riding, my first single. Not my first single. I got tons of music out, but last month in June we released Just Riding. And so now what is this, July? Yeah, so July was Just Riding. So in August we got Conviction coming out. So that's coming out. And then I'm, in the lab working on some other things, thinking about what's going to be the next one. So with those things going on, I really don't have time to spend arguing and looking at what's going on. I see it in my leisure time. I see it, but I'm wrapping my mind around what I need to do in my own business, in my own life, so that I can be consistent. I understand that people are easily distracted, and people are pulled away based on feelings and debates and stuff like that. But really, it doesn't benefit you any. It doesn't benefit you any. You know what I'm saying? We can't allow people who we don't know and never met influence us to the point where we're getting all hot and bothered, and we're not taking care of business. We're not doing what we need to do to improve ourselves, or make sure that we're earning more money, or making sure we're sounding better, or making sure we're taking care of our family. You see, it's not based on external factors. You got to take responsibility for your own actions, your own life, And so that's what I was thinking about in the midst of all of this stuff going on in the media, regarding the politics and stuff like that. That stuff doesn't affect me. It really, I guess it does in a sense, where it pushes me even deeper into my own, goals and making sure I do what I need to do on a daily basis. But there's power in focus and being consistent. And I've seen so much growth in myself and what I'm doing in my business within the last month or so, a couple of months, just because I'm learning something new, and every day I'm implementing things. I'm getting better and better. And so that's the thing, that you get the reward comes from the work that you do. So if you're distracted and you're not doing the work, and you're letting hours go by, and you're just consuming content that's not really benefiting your business or your bottom line, or moving you forward in your self-development and all of those things, if you're allowing yourself to be distracted by all of this stuff, then they're doing their job well, because they want to manipulate and cause you to be led and tossed to and fro. Like the Bible say, when you're double-minded, you're unstable in all of your ways. It's like the wind can toss you to and fro, and that's the point that's why it's important to have sound doctrine. That's why I call my music, my mentorship program, the sound musician, because I was thinking about the play on words, because you got, of course, the sound. You need to have a great sound, but you also have to have a good solid plan and a solid approach all around, not just in your musicianship, but your business and recording, and even spiritually. You got to be solid. You got to be sound. And so, all of these things are tested when you face adversity, when you face challenges. We had some death in the family. I had to console my wife and be there for her, and take care of, cooking and do different things, make sure I do my honeydews and stuff like that. So all of those things is, that happen in life, it causes us to get off track for a little bit. And then we might just not feel like working. We just want to look at what's going on, in the world, and what's going on in our community, which is fine. But at the same time, that's when you see all the stuff that's going on and those things that knock you off, that should motivate you to be like, you know what, I'm going to get back on target, because I want to be in control of my life. I want to be in control of the opportunities. And when I say that, I mean be in a posture where you're making sure that every day you're doing what you need to do to keep moving the needle, to keep making progress. And like I always say, you got to have a mentor, you got to have a community. I have a community, the mentorship program. I'm a mentor, but at the same time, the company of the mentees, the feedback, the accountability, that helps me to keep showing up because I'm learning and applying, I'm practicing, and I'm sharing the videos on the inside, and it's making me better. I'm sharpening myself as a leader. I'm recording, so I'm always critiquing myself and seeing what's working, what's not. So I'm continually growing and progressing, and you only get that from focus and being consistent. Okay, so wherever you are in your development, the key is to focus, and you got to have an end goal in mind. Don't just allow yourself to be manipulated and just kind of led, like, by whatever trends are going on in the world. You can't make progress, and you can't have freedom like that. It's interesting because I thought about a concept. A lot of people will use their free time to keep them in bondage. That's the thing. And think about this. Even if we look at a situation, if you got an hour, and we talked about this before, dividing your hour up into segments where you're working on different things. And you can think about that in life, like certain things that you need to do in your life. Let's say, for instance, read the Bible, read the Word, or listening to some good teaching, or even listening to some type of music, something that takes your mind away from or out of your own head. You know what I'm saying? Where you're getting a massage, a mental massage, or intellectual stimulating. You're listening to a podcast, or you're doing something to just put your mind in a different place to where you're getting the exercise. You know what I'm saying? You need that because that's going to sharpen you and make you better. If you stay isolated, or if you stay just scrolling through all of the trending media, and you're just consuming, and you're not doing anything, you're not implementing the things that you learn, or you got paralysis of analysis where you're looking at all of these different YouTube videos and you're not actually implementing and actually practicing or trying to record and do stuff yourself. It's like you don't have any fruit, and that's the thing too. You got to be fruitful with what you do. And so the way that you can see fruit is from you putting in the work. You got to tend to your garden. You have to plant the seeds. You have to water the seeds. You got to prepare the ground, and then you got to nurture it. And then if you do your part over time, the seed is going to bloom, and then it's going to bear some fruit. And so that's what it's all about. So in these times when all of this stuff is going on that you don't have any control over, the one thing you need to focus on is being consistent and making sure you show up and do the work that you need to do so that you can be a better person for your family, for your community, if you're a teacher, if you're a co-worker, or if you're a musician, if you're whatever you're doing, a businessman. It's all about being focused. And so the thing too, get sound doctrine. Listen to sound doctrine. It's a turn off. It's interesting to hear arguments on why this person is good and why this person is bad. But when it really comes down to it, you need to hear sound doctrine. You need to hear the living water. You need the living word. You need something that's going to feed your spirit, your soul. If you just listen to political podcasts all day, or just carnal stuff, or you just mundane stuff, and you can tell you can tell all the drama that's going on out there politically, or you can talk about all of what's going on with sports. You got a head full of all of this stuff, but is that really beneficial to you, to your spirit, man? Are you growing? Has it affected you where you can be a better husband, or can you be a better wife from the stuff that you've consumed? Are you a better son or daughter? You know what I'm saying? And family is very important because, the relationships that we have, should be a blessing. Both sides, like people should be a blessing to you and you should be a blessing to them. And the only way for that to happen is for you to be aware of who you are and who you are created to be. Your creation role. Why does God have you here? What is your job? What is your duty? If you are a man, if you're not married, one of these days you might get married. So you need to prepare yourself for being a great husband, a great father one day. If you're a father already, then of course you have to learn how to be a better father. If you're a young woman looking forward to being married one day, it's not just about a career, it's not just about being successful in the workforce, and being masculine. It's all about being a woman, a wife, and a mother. These are like basic things that we're so distracted by all of this superficial stuff that we're not keeping the main thing the main thing. And I talk about this in my book. That's The Christian Musician. Learn what your real gift is and how to succeed with and beyond your music. So check that out when you get a chance. But yeah, regardless of where you are and what you do, I just thought it would be good to talk about, remaining focused and being consistent. Because what happens is when you just allow yourself to just take in all of the world's philosophy, the Bible talks about that too. Don't let anyone ruin you with the rudiments of this world, with the vain philosophy and all of those things. I mean, things are interesting. You can always learn from anything, but really don't do it at the expense of sound doctrine and sound teaching, and things that's going to benefit your soul and spirit. You know what I'm saying? You can take in so much junk and then you're feeling depressed, still feeling depressed and like the Bible talks about, ever learning and never coming into the knowledge of truth, because you haven't taken the time to apply truth to your life. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to hear the word, but the Bible says faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. But also your faith without works is dead. So you can hear stuff, but if you're not applying it and you're not putting in the work, then your faith is dead because we don't see the result of what you've been hearing. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about being accountable and taking accountability for your actions, being responsible for your actions and making sure you're applying the truth and the things that you're, the sound doctrine that you're getting. So anyway, I was just thinking about that. It was like a lot that I was bubbling up on the inside to talk about in the midst of this season. And I just wanted to share this podcast and, share it with you. So I hope this was helpful. Hope this was motivating for you. And if you want to be a part of the Sound Musician Mentorship Program, where we go over development for the jazz language, also we go over recording. I show you how I record and lay down tracks on the saxophone and the EWI. We also go over music marketing and business. If you want to be a part of it, make sure you go to letsgetsound.com. If you're ready to get started immediately, then go ahead and send a text message to 877-360-4014. All right, I'm excited to see you on the inside. And if you are on the YouTube channel and you just enjoy watching the content, appreciate it if you subscribe, hit the thumbs up and hit the notification bell so that you can find out when I do post new content. So that's it for now, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to Nuggets for the Sound Musician. Stay tuned for more tips to elevate your music journey. We invite you to apply to become a mentee at letsgetsound.com. We're looking forward to helping you level up.